She smiled like she won, but she had no idea what was about to happen. Subscribe my channel, and tonight, welcome back to the Midnight Story Room. Did you know that nearly 1 in 5 weddings has some kind of unexpected drama that guests never forget? But what happened at this wedding, it wasn't just drama. It was the kind of moment that makes people question everything they think they know about love, loyalty, and family. Imagine standing at the altar, heart racing, dressed perfect, everything finally falling into place, and then you look up and your own sister walks in wearing white. Yeah, not cream, not champagne, not off-white, pure, unmistakable bridal white. Now pause for a second and really think about that. What would you do? Would you laugh it off, confront her, walk out? Because what happened next at this wedding no one saw coming, not the guests, not the bride, and definitely not the sister. And the person who shocked everyone the most, the groom. So let me take you into this story. It was supposed to be the happiest day of her life. Months of planning, sleepless nights, endless Pinterest boards, dress fittings, arguments over flowers that no one would even remember later. It had all led to this one moment. The venue was breathtaking, a soft golden glow from chandeliers, the scent of fresh roses floating in the air, and that quiet buzz of excitement you only feel at weddings. She stood in front of the mirror that morning, staring at herself in her dress. It was everything she had dreamed of, not overly dramatic, not too simple, just right. And for the first time in weeks, she felt calm until her phone buzzed. A message from her sister, "Running a little late, don't freak out." That was typical. Her sister had always been unpredictable, the kind of person who lived in her own world where rules were more like suggestions. Growing up, she was the louder one, the more attention-grabbing one, the one people noticed first. And for years, the bride had learned to live in that shadow. But today wasn't supposed to be about her sister. Today was supposed to be different. The ceremony started right on time. Guests filled the seats, whispering, smiling, turning their heads every time the doors creaked open. But no sister. A small knot of worry formed in her chest. Then the music began. The doors opened. And everything felt perfect. She walked down the aisle, her eyes locked on him, her husband-to-be. He smiled in that quiet, steady way that always made her feel safe, like no matter what chaos existed in the world, he was her calm. She reached the altar, took his hands, and for a moment everything else disappeared, until a sudden murmur rippled through the crowd. You know that kind of sound when people try to whisper but can't hide their shock? Heads turned, eyes widened. Phones subtly lifted. And then she saw why. Her sister had arrived, and she was wearing a white dress, not just any white dress, it was elegant, flowing, almost bridal. The kind of dress that would have been perfect if she had been the one getting married. For a split second, the bride froze, her heart dropped into her stomach. It felt like someone had taken her moment, her one moment, and twisted it into something else. Guests exchanged glances, some looked uncomfortable. Others were clearly entertained, because let's be honest, people love a little wedding drama as long as it's not theirs. The sister walked in like nothing was wrong. Like she hadn't just broken one of the most unspoken, universally understood rules of weddings. And here's the thing, she didn't even look apologetic. She looked confident, almost like she wanted people to notice. The bride's hands tightened around the bouquet, her mind raced. Should she stop the ceremony, say something, ignore it? But before she could decide, something unexpected happened. The groom noticed. He followed the direction of everyone's gaze, and when he saw her sister, his expression changed. Not anger, not confusion, something else. He let go of the bride's hands, and for a moment, the entire room went silent. You could feel it, that tension, that electric pause where everyone knows something is about to happen. He stepped away from the altar. The bride's breath caught in her throat. Was he going to confront her? Was this about to turn into a scene? He walked down the aisle, every step deliberate, eyes locked on the sister. Guests shifted in their seats. Someone whispered, "Oh my God." The sister smiled slightly like she was expecting attention. But as he got closer, her expression started to change. Because whatever she thought was about to happen, she was wrong. He stopped right in front of her, and then, in a calm but firm voice that carried through the entire room, he said, "Do you mind stepping outside for a moment?" Not loud, not aggressive, but unmistakably serious. The sister blinked, clearly caught off guard. "Why?" she asked, her tone defensive. And that's when he said something that no one in that room would ever forget. "Because today isn't about you, and you're trying to make it that way." You could hear a pin drop. No one expected him to say that, not like that. Not right there in front of everyone, the sister's face flushed. For the first time since she walked in, she looked unsure. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't insult her, but there was something in his tone, something steady, protective, unshakable. He wasn't just speaking as a groom, he was speaking as someone who refused to let anyone overshadow the person he loved. She deserves this day, he continued, glancing back at his bride. And I won't let anyone take that from her. The bride felt tears sting her eyes because in that moment it wasn't about the dress anymore. It wasn't about the embarrassment or the whispers or the judgment. It was about knowing without a doubt that the person standing at the altar with her was on her side, completely. The sister looked around, suddenly aware of every eye on her. The confidence she walked in with gone, replaced by something else. Embarrassment, maybe even regret. Without another word, she turned and walked out. The doors closed behind her, and just like that, the tension broke. The groom walked back up the aisle. And as he took the bride's hands again, he smiled softly and said, "Where were we?" A small laugh escaped her, shaky but real, and the ceremony continued. But something had changed, not in a bad way, in a powerful way. Because everyone there had just witnessed something rare, not perfection, but partnership, not just love in words, but love in action. The rest of the wedding went on beautifully. The laughter came easier, the joy felt deeper. And every time the bride looked at her husband, she felt that same overwhelming sense of certainty. Later that night, she found out something that made everything even clearer. Her sister had planned that moment. Not necessarily to ruin the wedding, but to be seen, to draw attention, to remind everyone that she was still her. It was something she had always done, but this time it didn't work. Because someone finally stood up and said no, and sometimes that's all it takes. One person willing to protect what matters, one moment of courage, one quiet, firm boundary. So if you're watching this and you've ever felt overshadowed, overlooked, or like someone else keeps trying to take your moment, remember this. The right people in your life won't let that happen. They won't stay silent. They won't look the other way. They'll stand beside you, and if they have to, they'll step forward for you, because love isn't just about the big gestures. It's about the moments when it would be easier to say nothing, but you choose to speak anyway. And that's what made this wedding unforgettable, not the dress, not the drama, but the reaction no one expected. So tell me, what would you have done in that situation? Would you have ignored it, confronted it, or walked away? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more real, emotional, and unforgettable stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Because here in the Midnight Story Room, there's always another story waiting in the dark.